news came out, we all read about it, we spoke about it, but this time it's cooled a little bit and he wants to face business again. So I think that's what I will commend Eric Chelle for that. And yes, fresh faces. Of course, we want to see fresh faces. I mean, we reported that Ato Okonkwo is now clear to play for Nigeria.
Goalkeeper.
Yes, I'm expecting him to be called up. Chibuike Iwaiwu I'm also expecting him to be called up as well. So I'm expecting players, to come for anywhere, even if it's not from the NPFL.
Ahano is already made up his mind to play for
I'm sure we have a lot of Ahanos.
Yeah.
Maybe even better than Ahano. I mean, we saw at AFCON, we saw Igor Ogbu. Even if Shemi Ajayi is not going to be called up, let's say an Igor Ogbu. Let's the players that, let's say that like 30 plus, let them start having reminders that, look, you guys, whenever you choose to, want to retire from the Super Eagles, we already have players that can give you a run for your money. So I think we should be planning that, from these games. Yes, you might say it's not the top quality games you want to see, maybe the likes of compared to Colombia or Mexico or Brazil.
What about the names?
Or even European teams.
The head of this guy, Chukwuemeka, who plays
Kani Chukwuemeka. Yeah, I think they are still working on Kani Chukwuemeka.
This even though guy that plays in Southampton, I'm trying to remember.
Leslie Ugochukwu. Yes, Leslie Ugochukwu is at Burnley. Yeah, now. No, Leslie Ugochukwu is French for now.
Okay,
he's playing for the age grade teams. Age grade sides for France, right? Okay. But the likes of Kani Chukwuemeka is not only Nigeria that is involved, even Austria, because I think he has some affiliations with Russia. He might get to play for Russia if he's cleared. And I think it's closer to Russia than to Nigeria at this point.
Russia's been banned by FIFA from playing football.
That's Russia. Pardon me, Austria, not Russia. Austria. It's Austria this time around. Austria, they have an issue with Nigerian players. There's Karim Onishiwo is there, Chibuike Adamu is there, and we also have David Alaba. So for me, I think Kani Chukwuemeka is closer to Austria than the Super Eagles at this point. I don't know. Maybe this is what Eric Chelle is actually trying to say in his 90-point wish list. Let me be able to identify these boys. I can talk to them, not somebody claiming he wants to go and beg somebody's father. I can go to them, talk to them, convince them that, okay, this is the project. Look at what I did. Right, at AFCON, you will get your chance if you are good. I think that is what the Chelle is going to want to say to the boys. Not that, look, okay, with this certain amount, come and play, I will convince you, you can come and play for us. Chelle might go and say, look, I want you to play for the Super Eagles. Your competition, there will be competition for places though, but if you do well, you will play. I think that's going to draw the player closer than just saying, come and play, I assure you of a slot or something like that. So I think that is what the Chelle is asking for. But we want to see fresh faces because the Super Eagles, yes, we've seen from the AFCON that a revamp is needed. And I think with Eric Chelle, we can achieve that.
All right, Maiwa, we saw a very good side at the AFCON. And if there's going to be any player adhered to that team, we should expect they should also be of good quality. All the names you're hearing, okay, Maiwa is out. So with the names you're hearing, do you think the likes of the Wrexham goalkeeper Otto Okonkwo is going to add value to the side? And one of Chibuike, for instance. Do you think these players can wrestle the regulars for their spots in the team?
Well, I mentioned yesterday about Otto Okonkwo, right? And also, Maiwa also corroborated it and said, look, if you are clubless, I mean, you shouldn't even be getting a call-up, even though we've seen what you've done. But I think it's high time we start getting serious about the Super Eagles. It's high time we start saying, look at Brazil, for example, even though I don't like drawing comparisons. You can't be unattached and say you want to get into the Brazilian team. Even if you are playing for some of the best clubs in the world and you are not in form or you are not being used, the Brazilians will move on quickly. There are many players on ground. I think we should be doing that also for the Super Eagles going forward. This is a friendly game, 2 games with Iran and Jordan. Even if it's players from the NPFL that you want to bring in, that you say, okay, look, I've seen these boys holistically, I've gotten reports about them, I want to bring them in. Why not? So, and if they deliver in those 2 games, for example, going forward, even the regular will say, look, I think I have competition on my hands now, and I want to play. So I think that one already, it's not about if they can bench the regulars. So of course, friendlies can give you any results. We can definitely see players. Okay, it was from the Unity Cup that we saw Benjamin Fredericks, and he was already becoming a regular. Trust me, if Benjamin Fredericks was not injured, I don't think Shemi Ajayi will have had a part to play at the AFCON. Trust me, I don't think so. Because it fits Benjamin Fredericks and a Calvin Bassey going forward. It's like they are the best center-back player for Nigeria at the moment. And we have Olaino and Bruno Emechi already as right back. So where do you think Shemi Ajayi will play? And Chelle plays, 2 center-backs, not 3. So trust me, if he can do that with Benjamin Fredericks, then he can achieve this one too, this Iran and Jordan friendlies, it can bring more players as well. So I think, yes, maybe they won't quickly just come and dispatch the regulars. Of course, Eric Chelle must have seen the players from the AFCON, and he already knows, his team going forward, the starting 11. He knows players that he can trust any day, anytime. But of course, bringing new faces can test the waters, and we can see, other players rise up from friendlies like this.
All right, testing the waters, and the Super Eagles will face Jordan on March 31, 2026 at the Amman International Stadium. It's shaping up to be an exciting month for Nigerian football, and they also get to take on Iran as well in a very interesting game on the 27th of March. And of course, we hope that the Super Eagles will give a good account of themselves, and we'll see more young players taking a claim in the team.
It's just sad that, these are two teams that have already qualified for the World Cup, and they are using Nigeria to test waters. I remember when Nigeria qualified for 2014.
But
we played Scotland and the likes. If we can do that now, we are now in the space of Scotland of that time, of that year. It's now Iran and Jordan that is using Nigeria to test their might for World Cup.
Yeah.
This is a slap. We can wait for FIFA's decision all we want.
Different strokes.
But this is not supposed to be happening.
Different shows for different folks. Anyway, my one is now back with us. We're just talking about how excited are you going to be as far as the match friendlies is concerned. But if anything happens with the FIFA decision, they might not be going for this invitational tournament.
That'll be the second time.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a very interesting one. But they've talked about names like Wanu and Ato Nkonkwo,
yeah.
the Red Sam goalkeeper, and some other names likely popping up from the list already submitted by Eric Chelle to the NFF, still yet to be vetted and made public. Of course, those were part of the 19-point. He requested that he should be given
exactly, not passing it around.
He should not be waiting for approval that long. Just publish the names. I've sent it to you. That's what I want, and let it be that way. But that is not how it is, because the 19-point agenda has not been agendaed yet. Okay, it has not been decided.
It's still being vetted.
It's still being vetted.
They are still passing it from quota to quota.
Maiwa, what are your expectations in this two friendlies or the invitational tournaments out there in Jordan?
Well, on a later note, it made me remember a particular president that said he has 7-point agenda. So he has 19-point agenda, and one of it is he doesn't want my slot. We knew what the last NFL president did, and we know what the current one is doing. The likes of Tanima and Jeff, that they made it into the team. However, it's a bittersweet, friendly situation in quotes. Bitter in the sense that Nigeria is the biggest brand in Africa. No matter what, those running our football are doing, we still remain the biggest brand in terms of quality of players that we have produced so far and the quality of players we have abroad. We should not be playing friendlies against Jordan and Iran. We should be looking for countries that are way better than us. As far as I'm concerned, we are way better than these people. And if you are associating with people better than you, if you are associating with people you are better than, you won't really learn anything. You have to aim to, learn from people who are more knowledgeable than you. I think we should have been playing teams like Brazil, Argentina, and the rest of that. However, the good side of this is this. We were talking about Otto Okonkwo and the likes of some other young stars that, Chelle is looking at opportunity for those players to be able to come and have a feel of what it will feel like playing for the Super Eagles. And this is also an avenue for us to be able to see, future talents that probably, don the Nigerian jersey much, much later. So, bittersweet. We should take the positive to see some of this new blood feature in this national, in this friendly. However, the big question is this, because for Chelle to come up with that point in his in the 19-point agenda about team selection, the big question is this. I hope majority of the new players in quotes now that will feature in the friendly, I hope it will not be like the situation of a particular former NFL president that was going to beg somebody's father to come and play for Nigeria. I hope that's not the situation. I hope they allow Chelle to choose the player and for him to be able to make key decisions in terms of who and who is going to feature for Nigeria.
Yeah, and of course, I'll also be expecting names like, I don't know, Felix Argo is not being that fortunate. I don't know. Each time it matters the most. Sometimes some injuries just stop him from being a part of the team. And of course, that has been his greatest undoing. I don't know whether the other Victor might get a look in.
I don't think so. I don't think so for now.
He has not been on form.
Yeah.
He's still on injury. He's still injured.
Yeah, of course, coming back is going through rehabilitation at this point. So, but I don't think he's going to touch the pitch anytime soon.
Yeah.
Maybe later in the year, but for now, I don't think
Maybe
so.
later, maybe next season. Yeah.
But
That means even if the Super Eagles is going to the World Cup, he might likely not make it too.
That will be left to Chelle. I don't know, but
No, I don't think
the
so,
way
because
it is
the
now,
season is almost over.
the way it
He's not
is
going to
now,
kick a
he
ball
might
this
come
season.
in and maybe have a place on the bench because the way it is now,
The bench?
it is Jerome Adams and Victor Osimhen up front. I don't think
Because
I don't think that will change anytime
if you
soon.
look at the attack,
Yeah.
Paul Onachi is there, strong on the bench.
Yeah.
With his form for Trabzonspor this season, it's going to be difficult for the other Victor who's not playing,
Yeah.
who's been injured, to even get a look in. So
There's another Victor that is doing well in the NPFL. Victor Mbama. Who plays for
Mbama?
who plays for Remo Stars.
Is that a footballer?
There's Victor Mbama. So when you say the other Victor, I'm looking at which
Victor
Victor.
Obama is.
No, but Jerry.
But Victor Mbama
But
is scoring
Jerry,
goals.
Do you know how old he is?
but Jerry,
Is it
Jerry,
Victor Obama has
we
been playing
cannot-
football since I was in
No.
secondary school.
Jerry,
I'm
Jerry.
saying fact. I know him very well. There's nothing you can tell about Victor Obama. I know him very well.
But at least he's doing business.
Business,
He's scoring goals.
Jerry,
selling
We
goods.
thought- with all due respect, Ronaldo is 40 years and still playing for the Portuguese national
Thank you,
team.
Maewa. Thank you for that.
That's number one.
Thank you for that
Number
save.
two,
Scoring goals for Remo
Number
Stars,
two.
right? Where's Remo
Yes.
Stars on the league table?
But if you are
Jerry,
scoring goals for Remo Stars, it's better than not playing for whether Bremen are not
Go
scoring.
ahead, Mario, go ahead.
yeah. Number two, Yorubas will say, Alara ló ń gbáraga. 55 countries in Africa. If you are number 12, if my mathematics is right, we have about another 42 teams, 43 teams below us. So we should not write off our league. If somebody is doing so well, in the league and scoring goals, it's a friendly match. We should give them an opportunity to be able to play. Before we turned foreign FC, majority of our players, the players that did us proud in US and export that qualified us for the World Cup, 90% of them were born and raised and cut their teeth in Nigeria before they moved abroad. So I think we should give the people in the league an opportunity. If they have the quality, let them come to the team.
Yes, they have the quality. I agree with you. They should make the cut. But celebrating 12, that means we are celebrating that we are better than Eritrea.
No, he did not celebrate.
No, he said he celebrated at least we are
saddens
12.
No,
He said it's
I'm not celebrating.
No, I know you are not celebrating.
He said it's
It's saddest thing that we are number 12, but we are better than 55.
It's sad.
We are better than 43 other countries.
We are
But
better
you
than
see,
43.
you see,
Because if you look at
if we are better, it's
those
just killing
43
us.
countries we are better than, we all know their situation. Any country right now that our league is better than is in comatose. Yes. They need help. Serious help. They need the United Nations to come in and help their football.
And what even saddens me even more is that these teams that are in the top 11 before it gets to Nigeria, we used to be better than them. So what did they do? Do they have two heads? What did they do that the NFF and the league management is sleeping on? These are the questions we should be asking. And speaking of NPFL players, I remember in 2014, you bear me witness in 2014 where at Chan, one of our best players at Chan, AGK was he went to the World Cup and you saw that shirt that they gave him, and they gave him number 3 for a forward. The NPFL players, honestly, for times past, NPFL players have not been having a good looking. Even if you get to the Super Eagles, even if you get to the main team, they will still relegate you just because you played the NPFL.
See, the NPFL, I think the packaging has always been wrong. I always say this, the thing is that
it's not popular among Nigerians, so that's the problem.
The thing is that
it might look popular or sound popular, but it's
fault
not
of Nigerians that it's like that. Because I think there was a league that was run last year.
Yeah.
And it was called, I don't want to give them brand exposure.
Yeah.
It was organized in Lagos.
Yeah.
We saw a lot of personalities buy clubs.
Of course.
And they arranged, and the prize money, I think it was about more than 50 million or so. Yeah. And it was well branded and well packaged.
New generation of players. You could see players coming through to.
And they brought players from different academies and so on and arranged them. And it was beautiful. I saw the organization. I even met with its directors, people who understand structure. Exactly. Organized something, and it was well packaged. I think it was just a month it ran.
Yeah.
And the final, everything was well packaged.
And you could see the quality
they
of
were
their
the
players.
They were the same Nigerians. See, if you leave it to the private sector, and give them the necessary support. See, what we are seeing in England, the government also supported it. It started with the government giving funds to responsible people.
That is where the issue is with us here.
Yeah, it's not that when you give it to someone like Koja, will first of all settle all his generations first. Settle all the problems he has had before, all the ambition he had. He would have settled everything before we now get to the project itself. Then after the project, all the vehicles, everything will now be shared to family and friends. Just, it's really sad. It's really sad.
Honestly.
It's really sad.
I second you, Jerry. I mean, when the private sector, it's not as if they don't want to do things. They are ready to work. But trust me, this is not a country where capitalism is the order of the day. We are still going to have to report to the government. You are still going to report to the government, and the government might come in and say, look, okay, we see your plans, but what's the need for us? You see, that was the need for us has already derailed a lot of people from wanting to do anything. Because
and that's why I always say no to a Victor Obama. He just brought the suggestion.
But at least
because
he's one of the other victors that is doing well.
Obama is I don't know. I think Obama played for Imba at some point in time.
You remember? Speaking of Imba, you remember?
I didn't even know Obama was still playing football. I thought he was retired. Anyway.
You remember Mfonudo?
I think he went abroad before. He didn't work
Victor
out.
Obama.
And he came back now. He's now it's like daddy playing among the young kids.
Well, at least if the daddy is doing well, why not give him a chance? Maybe is Shewa Abdullahi not playing for Caterpillar?
He played in the chant team. Was it Takeshi chant team? I can't remember one of the chant teams.
Rabi Ali is 45. Rabi Ali is 45.
Yeah.
And he's still doing well.
And still playing well.
So you invite Rabi Ali to Super Eagles now?
To come and have a feel of national team now. Doesn't it? How many attacking midfielders in Nigeria are better than Rabi Ali?
What is senior brother Ahmed Musa has left behind? Is him that he didn't even spell it when he was in his prime. Rabi Ali was in his prime as at 2014, 2015, 2016. He didn't make the senior.
He knows the nooks and cranny of Nigerian football.
He was giving chances.
He knows African football well.
Rabi Ali was also giving chances.
When?
With the chant
How many
team.
games?
Yeah. He was giving chances with the chant
But he was
team.
one of the better chant players now.
One of the better
all the
chant
times
players.
he played chant.
He was still not
all
good
the times
enough.
he played chant, he was one of the better players.
Enough to play in the team. If not, he would have been given a chance. Because quota system would have favored him.
But AGK was when you went to the World Cup. I don't want to remember that.
I don't want to remember that. AGK was the best player in that chant team. You have to give it to him.
But did he get to play at the World Cup?
No.
If he didn't get to play at the World Cup, it's not his fault, because at the time the quality he was up against was definitely better than him. It was not his fault.
And so if you can carry that, what I'm just trying to tell you, that if you can bring a certain Uzwenyi, why not bring one of the better players also, the likes of Rabi Ali? I don't think Rabi Ali will not want to play for Super Eagles 45 and all of that, but it's still one of our better players.
Right now is an academy for agents to supply players to offshore leagues all over the world.
Which is not supposed to be. We can do better.
But Jerry, but Jerry, we have over 400 players, 20 teams, 23 players for over 20 teams. That's over 460 players. Are we saying in the pool of 460 players, we can get, if not 11, we can get 3-4 that will be good enough to play for the Super Eagles? I don't think so. We should be able to have at least 3-4. It's just that we've not, given them an enabling exam. We've not given them the looking. Because and that's the reason why, I'm mad when somebody in Gombe will be saying something that he's not supposed to say. Anytime I remember the Gombe guy, it just pisses me off. That one of the demands of Chelle is an enabling environment for him to go and be seeing all these games, to be able to discover new talents. And somebody in Gombe is sitting down and is blasting him.
Don't go there, Maiwa, please, I beg. Don't
Eric Chelle should not even stress himself, because I don't think he will be an endangered species if he wants to go and be seeing all the league games. He should remain in Abuja. Whenever they point a player, he will assess him.
But he can go for big games. Look at Thomas Tuchel. Look at Thomas Tuchel, for example.
How many big games do we have in the NPFL anymore?
No,
name one or two big games.
If we have Rangers and shooting is still a big game.
Rangers
it has historical past. Rangers against shooting is still a big game.
Rangers as shooting is not as big as it's supposed to be.
Maybe the Oriental Derby.
We don't have derbies.
Maybe the Oriental Derby for now.
Which Oriental Derby?
Maybe the Oriental Derby. I'm talking about Eyimba and Atlant this time around. But yes, okay, Eyimba and Abia Warriors. Eyimba and Abia Warriors is still there. It's a derby. Big games. Kano Pillars is still a big team, even though they are fighting relegation.
Kano what?
Kano Pillars against the Shooting Stars. Kano Pillars
How would it
against
be a
Shooting
big
Stars
team?
against
Just like
Sunshine
you say,
Stars.
it's just like you're saying Tottenham is struggling. They are still a big team.
But Thomas Tuchel attended the North London derby.
Manchester United is struggling. They are still a big team.
Thomas Tuchel attended the North London derby now.
Everton is struggling.
Is
they
he
are still a
supposed to
big
attend?
team.
Since Tottenham are in 17th or 16th.
But Nick Pope plays for England and plays for Everton.
It's part of his right.
Pickford.
It's part of his right because they say everything
Pickford.
is working out for good for him. So Thomas Tuchel can go and even watch even Sunday League and he will feel safe and go and come back. And no, there will be no issue.
But Jerry,
Yes,
that's what I'm saying.
That's
I'm not
true.
saying he should go for every game. I'm saying that even if it's the big fixtures, if it's the league leader against second, if it's the league leader against second, you could let's say a certain Ikorodu City against the Rivers United.
Who's leading the league now, Maiwa? Remind us.
It's Ikorodu City. It's Ikorodu City.
Is it Ikorodu City or Nasarawa or Nasarawa United?
No, it's still Ikorodu City. Ikorodu City are
Ikorodu City,
leading.
right?
It's
Yeah,
Ikorodu
but
City that
Rivers
doesn't
United have
even
four
want to
games.
play in the CAF Champions League. They are the ones leading the table.
But they are there. Jerry, we are dragging this.
Let's not have this conversation.
Go.
Last
Yeah.
season, see, the thing is that there are some things I know about the league that I cannot say everything.
Of course, I
You get.
understand.
True.
That is why.
True.
But I will not be among those journalists that will deceive Nigerians that all is well.
Nobody is saying all is well. We all know that all is not well.
Try to
You are
bring
very
out
correct.
something from nothing. Because right now the state we are in, we are running an academy league. Remo Stars won the league last season and they sold 13 of those players.
They are going back into their shell now.
They sold 13 players.
Yeah.
Watch out if Ikorodu City now, if they win the league this season, by next season, the first team and part of the bench players would have been sold.
They've not won the league already, God. They are already letting some of their players go. Their best players.
I know of a player who, in the middle of the season, he just scored 3 or 4 goals. He left Nigeria.
I mean, it's so I used to have this discussion with a colleague of mine, quickly before we move on. He will say, look, yes, let them go and all of that. I mean, if you look at other leagues, and I told him that, look, what do you mean other leagues? I don't even have to go away from Africa. Let's look at South Africa. Then when Sifiwe Shabalala was playing, he had all the chance to move on to another team. But he spent a lot of years there because there was the environment.
Thank God you say Shabalala.
But Shabalala was one of the biggest names.
It only happened in South Africa.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. That he was trying to make an excuse by saying, look, yes, now the Nigerian league, see if it's marketable for players to leave. I said it doesn't have to be.
If the South African league now opens a door that all the NPFL players should come tomorrow to the airport, they are taking them to South Africa. I'm telling you, nobody will play the league that weekend. Nobody will be left to play the league games that weekend. So let's not even go there. Anyway, Jamaica is getting anxious about FIFA's delayed decision on Nigerians' protest against DR Congo. The protest claims DR Congo used ineligible players in the African playoff final, and Nigeria wants a chance to represent Africa in the match playoff. And the Jamaican Football Federation is worried about the lack of clarity just weeks before their big game against the DR Congo. They are concerned the delay might affect their preparation for the match. Yes, I think Jamaica is in a tough spot because not knowing who they are going to play makes it difficult for them to prepare for any team, because definitely I think they will prefer DR Congo to Nigeria because, of course, they have the real victor. Demola is on fire. I think if I were Jamaica, I would prefer DR Congo over Nigeria, right? I think they will be praying that Nigeria doesn't get that slot right now.
Jamaica should even calm down. Have they beaten New Caledonia?
I think they are ruling them out. They already cancelled Caledonia. This one is ruled out. Let's worry about the big fish. This one is not my problem.
If you look at the quality of players, Jamaica and New Caledonia, you expect Jamaica, and I think they are still fighting for a certain Mason Greenwood to come and play for them. So they are looking at it and saying, look, okay, fine. FIFA, where do we stand? Is it Nigeria? Let us know. This is happening. Is it March 16 or even the first week of March? It's happening very soon. Who are we playing? But aside all of that, of course, they have to be concerned because they are, they will be preparing for their opponents, and it depends on the size of the opponent that you will know how you are going to prepare for them. You understand? If it's the Super Eagles, we know how Super Eagles can be. Let us convince who we are going to convince. Okay, Greenwood, it's time for us. We have Nigeria at hand. Come and help us to qualify for the World Cup. So, they have to prepare more seriously depending on the opponent. So I think that is why, they are very, very concerned. And of course, even DR Congo should be concerned where are we? Are we here? Are we staying in Africa, or we are going to the intercontinental playoffs? I think it's time for FIFA to speak. And yes, I will go back to what you used to say. FIFA don't like to be doing things already, but they are being too slow. It's time for us to know something. February has almost ended.
FIFA's time.
It's time for us to know something.
FIFA's time is not Nigerian
If that
time.
thing is giving a week to the intercontinental playoffs, it's unfair.
FIFA's time is not African time, Maiwa. So Jamaica patient.
I think by this weekend we'll have a verdict. Most of the time it's always 3 weeks before competition, and you start preparing and the rest of that. And by this weekend it will be exactly 3 weeks. Roughly 3 weeks for that particular competition. So I think if not this weekend, latest by Monday, we'll have a verdict. I think Jamaicans, they are very correct. They should be worried, and they should make their frustration known. I mean, the earlier FIFA decides, the better for them to be able to know which country they will prepare against, so that they will not start preparing against DR Congo, and FIFA will shock them and give them Nigeria. So I think FIFA needs to come to the table. But I'm hopeful that by this weekend, probably Nigeria will be heading to the World Cup playoff via the back door.
Yeah,
I like my
very positive one there.
I like that positivism.
Had it been we are going to see later tonight, I would have given you some green bottles.
No, I don't let him buy you over. I know what he's trying to do. I know what he's trying to do.
To wet your appetite.
I cannot be bought.
He's still going
I'm not trying to buy you.
That jersey.
No, I'm just saying from this perspective, you're just giving us. I think you deserve some green bottles, but don't worry, we'll arrange some other time.
At the end of the season, I know what he's trying to do.
We'll arrange some other time.
Yeah, I know. I cannot be bought.
Anyway, Senegal's Prime Minister is upset over a Moroccan court's decision to jail 18 Senegalese football fans for a pitch invasion during the African Cup of Nations final. The fans were sentenced to prison terms ranging from 3 months to 1 year and fined up to $545. And Senegal's Prime Minister Ousmane Sonko says the handling of the case doesn't honor relations between the two countries. Morocco, they don't forgive. It's like a mafia country. All the nice things they were doing off the ball was just PR.
Well, Morocco hosted all of us as the AFCON. We saw what happened, and it's somehow that you are the host, you are the one having the most controversies. Also, it had to go all the way to the final, and yes, it's not as if the Senegalese fans were fighting themselves. They incited violence, or let me say, the violence sparked among their their crowd, and also with the Moroccans. So, and if you are a good parent, if you are punishing the children of the guests, you should be punishing your own child as well if they both committed a certain offense. So for me, I think Morocco is not handling it very well. And the man had to actually come out and say, look, what is going on? If we want to jail our own fans, first of all, I'm not even saying you should jail them. You should have a reason for jailing them. And if you want to go ahead and jail them, what of your own fans? Because all the violence started from there. They were trying to know what is going on. Why are you telling your players to cease towels and all of that? So we are going to question you. Then we broke out into violence. Yes, we don't support violence in football, but it has happened. Now you just want to put judgment on just one side. It's not fair, and I think that's what the Senegalese Prime Minister is calling for. It's not fair, and it should be. If you want to put out some punishment, it should be both sides. I mean, look at what CAF did. I think this is all coming out from what CAF did. CAF punished Senegal heavily, and they were bringing in light punishments on the Moroccans just because they hosted. I think this is still going on. It's sad. It's still going on in Africa. And if you want to punish, somebody like I said, 2 people committed an offense, let the 2 of them suffer the consequences.
All right,
not
just one side. Marijuana, those guys are in prison, whether they like it or not, except there will have to be a presidential pardon from talking about the royal family for those guys, and it will have to come from the pressure all the way from Senegal.
Well, I hope this was not degenerating into public, diplomatic row. I think in the early 50s, 2 South American teams, I think it's Argentina, maybe against Chile or Peru, that they ended up fighting war because of football. I hope this does not turn to that. The Moroccans, the Senegalese were not fighting themselves; they were fighting the Moroccans, and they were provoked into that. However, as much as you want to, say they were provoked, no matter what, you should not act unruly. There are laws to guide your conduct as a visitor. I think the Senegalese fans, they acted poorly. And in as much as, yes, I would agree that if you want to punish the visitor's son, you should also punish your own son that got himself involved in the fight. I would agree with that. However, as a visitor, you should know your limits. And Senegalese fans, they messed up. And for me personally, I think they should face the consequences. The only hypocrisy I'm seeing here is the fact that, the Moroccans, none of the Moroccans, according to the news, none of the Moroccans are held accountable the way they are holding the Senegalese fans accountable. If you're traveling to get to a country, please abide by the rules. Don't go there and start fighting, irrespective of what the provocation is. There are official channels that you can, pass your message across from, or lay your complaints, not take laws into your hands. The moment you break the law, you are liable to the law of that particular country. So I will not fault the Moroccans, for wanting to, make the fans face the music. However, the hypocrisy that, I hope CAF addresses, and I hope, pressure, piling of pressure on Morocco addresses, is the fact that no Moroccan fan is held liable. And I don't think that's fair. So for me, I think CAF should put a lot of pressure, and let's see how Morocco will handle its own fans that were also involved, in violence and unsportsmanlike behavior. Those guys, taking the towel and the rest of that, they should also be punished, because they were throwing Morocco into disrepute. They were throwing the game into disrepute. Yeah. And as far as I'm concerned, if they are not punished, it means the Moroccan FA and the Moroccan government, they signed on to that, and that will not be fair.
Yeah, encouraging and discipline. Anyway, let's talk about the UEFA Champions League. Bodo Glimt made history by advancing to the Champions League last 16 with a 2-1 win over Inter Milan at San Siro, securing a 5-2 aggregate victory. Who would have seen this coming? The Norwegian Miners, led by goals from Jens Peter Haig. Talking about this guy, he scored both home and away against Inter. I think he's a striker a lot of club sides might be looking forward to next season. Manchester United always in the hunt for strikers. Anyway,
why about Liverpool?
Liverpool are still in love with Isak. I don't think they want to. Liverpool have let their hard way. I don't think. But Man United has a lot of money to spend. They brought in Buemo, Cunha, and Seskio, Robosa, Hoyland, the other Hoyland.
The other Haaland. The other Haaland.
Also the other bridge.
The result, we are fourth and you are sixth.
Exactly. Okay, they let us go there.
Initial Gaga.
That's the result.
This is Initial Gaga.
All right.
Orobosa was there. Okay.
Before I give out Morocco and Senegal punishment,
let's go to Bodo Glimt, please.
Let's go to Bodo Glimt. Anyway, speaking of Bodo Glimt and Jens Peter Hauger, I think for me, it looked like he has a personal vendetta against Inter Milan, because he played for AC Milan, even if it's just for a season. So he played for them. He's an AC Milan boy, and I think he wants to still show European clubs that I have something. Now, I'm talking about the big European clubs that I have something in my locker, and I think good performances all around, not just him, all around from Bodo Glimt and their coach as well. His name is a tongue twister, so I'll just call him coach. But good performances by them as well. They really did well. Yes, a lot of people are saying, can this fairy tale run continue when they face the likes of the Bayerns, the Paris Saint-Germain, Arsenal, all of that? But trust me, they can, one at a time. And if you can beat Inter Milan at this stage,
at the San Siro,
at the San Siro for that matter, I think this one will give you the biggest level of confidence that you can take on any team. Yes, you might say Inter Milan are not in the best, of form in Europe, but then this is a team that is leading by 10 points in the Serie A. They are on a 14-game unbeaten run in the league. So, but yes, just like I said earlier, Italian teams generally in the Champions League, they are not doing well. Even Fiorentina in the Conference League is not even doing well as well. So, but that's aside. For them, it's a big achievement. That's talking about Bodo Glimt. And going forward, any team they face, I think the team too will look like, look, you guys are not small. Yeah. And of course, they will prepare, even better for them. Also
saw Lookman also getting in on the art and then Solot. Yeah. I don't know. That guy is like, he had a personal plan
for Club Brugge.
For Club Brugge. He was just scoring for fun.
He was fed up with the 3-3 they played at Belgium.
It was just love of basketball between Atletico and Club
Brugge. When he involved two Nigerians, at least on opposing sides, one will qualify at the end of the day. And this time was at the Riyadh Metropolitano, and you could say Atletico Madrid, they are very inconsistent, but then Solot, I think a good master class from Diego Simeone, bringing Solot to start. He rarely starts this season, even since Ademola Lookman had even got in there. But he got the starts and he got the hat-trick and a good one for Atletico. Ademola Lookman, another assist.
My one, we also saw Karabakh. It's like they were not tired of the goals they conceded at home. They came to Goodison Park.
Even you see Anthony Gordon's face. He was looking someone like, why didn't I start now? Let me start part again. Let me score now.
C finish. Just pure C finish.
As a striker, those are the kind of games you want to play. Because you want to score more goals and probably break records and just remember the last time Anthony Gordon's break a record. Scoring 4 goals against Karabakh.
Yeah.
That's the reason why he was a bit angry. I think Newcastle did the job. They played fantastic. They were very fantastic. Scoring 9 goals over 2 legs shows the kind of quality that they have. The only question is this: where is the consistent Newcastle that we see in the Champions League? They are consistent in the Champions League, but outside the Champions League, they are not consistent. It was a done deal even before that game started. We all knew Newcastle would win. I was not surprised. 9 goals overall. Kudos to Eddie Howe. Let's see how they will navigate, the next phase of the Champions League.
Chelsea or Barcelona.
And let's wrap it up with the Champions League tonight. The big one: Juventus, Galatasaray. Osimhen to score goals today in Turin.
Well, why are we not giving maybe an avenue for a shocker as well? What if Juventus scores 3 goals and they bounce back? And this time there's no away goal. So 3-0 extra time. It might be decided in penalties, but I think this one, it looks done and dusted for me. For Galatasaray and Juventus, it's going to be a close game, but I think maybe like 2-0 or 2-1 in favor of Juventus. I think Juve will pick the win tonight.
Maiwa?
Well, Galatasaray goes to Italy and win again. Then for the Real Madrid Benfica game, I think that game ends in penalty. Jose Mourinho finds a way to score and defend, and extra time I'll probably see penalty. Probably, a Benfica making it through.
I think Real Madrid will whitewash Benfica this night. I think there will be goals. I won't be surprised 3-0.
Without Mbappe tonight.
But there's Vinicius.
Vini has this. When Vini is angry, the opposition suffers. We know what happened to Monaco. And this time around, Benfica definitely has something to tell Mourinho and the opposing fans when they come to the Santiago Bernabeu. It's going to be a blockbuster fixture to look forward to. And from that, big thanks Maiwa and Hafiz for being awesome on the locker room today. Of course, a big thanks to the guys behind the scene, talking about the likes of Victor and of course Alex, yes, who has been awesome today, and of course Hassan, not leaving out Jerry, who has been wonderful as well. My name is Jerry Apelhai, saying thanks for being a part of the locker room. Up next is Political Lens with Chukwuma Okoro. Stay tuned.
In a world where truth is the ultimate power and opinions scream the loudest, it's time to wade through the noise.
Hunger no get tribe! Hunger no get religion!
And scan the human interest and trending topics that matter. Stay tuned to The Issues, your plug to the stories making the buzz, from politics to science and technology, social justice, and more. Let's tackle the tough questions and expose the truth. The Issues on Voice of the People Television, Mondays to Fridays, 8 to 9 p.m. The Issues. Don't just react, understand. Join us as we drive into the world of politics through insightful interviews with prominent political figures, both serving and former governors, ministers, senators, legislators, party chieftains, activists, and analysts. Get first-hand information into the decision-making processes that affect our daily lives. Highly engaging one-hour program that brings political discourse into focus.
I am Chukwuma Okoro.
Political Lens, Monday through Friday, 6 to 7 p.m. Join us.